So while making this video, I realized I don't really have anything unique to add. I think I address some complaints about the game through the lens of support, but I don't think that you should watch this video if you're looking for some world-changing view on Marvel Rivals. This is my variety channel. This is just what I do. I talk about things I like, and I don't want to waste your time with a video you're not going to get anything from. So if you don't think, if you have watched videos that just tell you the game's good and talk about why, that's what this one is. I just want to talk about it, and I don't want to waste your time. So if you want to watch it, enjoy it. If not, just leave. I don't want you to waste your time, okay? Oh boy, it's time to write some meat. Yes, I like Marvel Rivals. Call me a heretic, call me a glazer. I don't care, because this game is pretty good. Now, this new sensation sweeping our nation, or the world, is Marvel Rivals, and it's a really fun game. I would not say it is a great game, because it is horribly unbalanced, but that makes it super fun, and you should try it out if you haven't already. It's free, you get all the characters off the bat, so this is my call to action. Go play the game. It's fun. I have not had a toxic game yet, surprisingly, but it's a very active player base. You will find a match in, I've consistently got it in under 3 seconds, so just go try it out. It's really fun. And come back, I guess. Give me more view time and views. But if you do need a little more convincing, or you just want to consume more content on this game, I'm here to talk about it. And I want to talk about some of the game overall, because I'm not some beta player who has 700 hours and I'm like gold 7. That's not a rank. But I am a player. I've got about 10 hours in the game. I've played a good handful of characters, and I come from a more casual side of the fan base, I believe. And I want to talk about it because I think I do represent a good portion of the player base, or I align with most of them, except in character selection. That I don't align with many people, but I do want to talk about the game. Suggestions, I just want to talk about it because it's a really fun game that is not an Overwatch killer. That's the main thing I want to talk about first. Now, a lot of people on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you go, you'll see it's just Overwatch, bro. Guys, it's just an Overwatch clone. And yeah, I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but Overwatch doesn't own the 6v6 hero shooter formula. I mean, like, you guys aren't clowning on Concord. Well, I mean, you can't anymore, but Overwatch does not own this genre. And if another studio does the formula well, and the players are very receptive to it, then it doesn't matter if it's similar to Overwatch. It is a fun, oh my god, video game fun in 2024? But also, I'd like to point out that this game is different enough from Overwatch to not feel like some, indie dev's first shot at making a game. This feels like its own thing. The most obvious difference you can name is the perspective. This is a third-person game. Overwatch is a first-person game. Then you've got the role queue. Since we're on it, we'll talk about it. I have seen a lot of people talking about how we need a role queue. We need a role queue. And I disagree. Because I think that pushes not only players into a role they don't want to do, as well as extending wait times. Because, yes, I know, you can queue for the role you want. You can queue for Duelist, or Vanguard, or Strategist. But as a strategist main myself, I love Loki. He's very fun. And, he's not the best, but I like him. He's fun to play as. But as a strategist main, I can understand why players don't want to be a healer. I can also understand why they wouldn't want to be a Vanguard, because I'm not a fan of them for the most part, which I know that makes me part of the problem. But in comp, I will fill because I understand that is a role that needs to be filled, and if nobody is going to, then I will. Now, see, I might be good enough to do that, but I understand other players won't. And I understand that the role queue would force the team compositions to be more balanced. However, I have a counterpoint. A couple, actually. One, that makes the game way less fun, because wait times are awful, and the amount of players who are going to be queuing for Strategist is going to be so much lower than your Duelists and your Vanguard. Well, mostly just the Duelist, because that's the biggest. Like, that's where most people want to be. I'm not sure about Vanguard. I mostly just see it about Strategists, but my point still stands. The wait times will be worse. They will worsen, and that'll just get worse with time because the game is definitely experiencing some post-release hype. The numbers it's having right now, it's not going to be that way forever. They're not going to be getting 500,000 players concurrent. They're going to drop off, because all games do after they're out for a little bit, like a couple weeks. That it happens. It's fine. But that means the wait times are going to just exponentially get worse if there is a role queue implemented. Now, I've heard the complaint or option that we keep quick match without a role queue, comp role queue, and I think for the most part that is fine. That's a fine way to do it. Comp, I understand the need for roles to be filled. Yeah, sorry for voice break. And I understand that it will change who is the dominant force, but I also feel that it is a way of just making the game less fun. See, let me take some experience from another hero shooter in Valorant, and not the same, but similar, because what comes into my head when I think about this role queue is a situation where I believe it was the esports team Evil Genius that plays Valorant. I believe they made a 5-person duelist team, and I believe they won with that. And it was really wacky to see, but it was really interesting to watch. And I think that is something you can replicate in Marvel Rivals very easily, because I also think that all these characters are viable, because, I mean, that's another big point. Like, the game's unbalanced, but, like, if everyone's broken, it's fine. And for the most part, I agree. But I feel like you can substitute. Maybe you can go without a Vanguard if you have some good duelists. I've had matches where, albeit quick matches, though I think I did have one comp match with no Vanguard and just mostly duelists, and it went well. But you can mitigate the need for a Vanguard with just solid players on duelist, which is asking a lot from the duelists, but obviously you can't quite make up for that role for strategists with just better players. You obviously, you can dodge every attack, land every hit, headshot everyone, boom, okay, wow, there's your answer. But I do feel that having a role queue just makes the game more rigid than this needs to be. I don't think Marvel Rivals is going to be the next, like, Valorant for esports teams or Overwatch. I don't think it needs to be. It's just a really fun game the way it is. And some wacky team comps are fun to see. Hell, you could have a team of all strategists. Are there even that many in the game? I think there's 7. So hopefully we get some more in the future. I'm gonna make a video on the characters I want in Marvel Rivals, because I'm riding the hype wave, guys. So yeah, that's my first. Like this. That's the second thing I wanted to tackle because I think this is all the like the controversy I want to talk about because I don't think there's much more other than Overwatch clone, roll queue, and then the unbalanced thing. But it's fine. It's fun. Nobody is like particularly bad except for maybe Black Widow's damage is all right, but like she's not bad either. Especially when she teams up with Hawkeye. Like, yeah, no, nobody immediately comes to my mind of bad. In fact, a little side tangent for you all, right, real quick. Sports or strategists do a lot of damage. At least the ones I have used. One I've used. But I've also played with friends who have tried out, like Luna Snow and I think Rocket as well. But I don't remember. We didn't play very long together, but we as a Loki main, you can put out a lot of damage and you can also heal pretty efficiently. Like Loki's probably not the best example for healing because he's got one healing ability and then that's pretty much it. The rest of his kit is centered around like trickery and himself, but he's still a strategist who can put damage out, hold the line, but also heal his team. Especially like his one healing ability is really, really good, and he's just fun to play. I'm biased, okay, but the rest of the supports are also really solid from what I hear online and from the friends I've played with. Their ults are also like all generally really good from what I hear, which is kind of the ults I've heard like some of them are like really good, some of them are kind of dog shit. Yeah, I mean, you can't, like, you could fix them, but, I mean, I can't think of any that are super bad off the top of my head. I guess maybe, like, Moon Knights, because, like, it's kind of easy to dodge if you have movement, but if not, you're kind of screwed. So now let's talk about the things I like, because I just wanted to get the controversy out of the way. I'm sorry if I talked so long, it's just, I talk long about things I enjoy, so... Did that English? Who cares? I don't want to re-record it. So, first thing I enjoy, I like that the maps are destructible. I enjoy being able to change the terrain to better fit setups or just a byproduct of a fight. It's really fun seeing like the buildings fall apart or like shooting a wall out so you get like a better angle on the enemy team. It's really nice. And it's just pretty cool to see. And I don't know how you feel about like the maps regenerating or just like replenishing, restoring, whatever you want to use, to like fix the arena. And then some of them shift. Like I think it's like the Venom World map. That one changes as you go through. That one's a little weird, but it's not like major changes. That makes it like like you don't have to find new routes to the point. You go the same way, just with a little detour sometimes. But I do like, I do like that it replenishes, but I also don't because like then I have to just break it all again, and then sometimes it like screws up like my setups because again Loki put down my decoys. Oh wow, there's a wall in front of me now, but I think I do like it overall, and I do like the destruction mechanic. Next, I'd like to talk about the game modes. I haven't seen anyone really mention this, but I haven't watched very many videos either, so... what do you need to know? You need to know that Domination and Escort the Payload are basically the only two modes. There is, like a team deathmatch form of gameplay in the arcade / I forget the name of it. It's weird that it's a separate thing, but the quick play and I believe as well as for competitive, they both do domination, so it's like best of 3. You capture a point and you hold it. Then you have Escort the Payload. What do you think that is? And then they have a third one where it's like capture a zone, then you unlock the ability to push the payload. Weird, but I mean, it's alright. There's quite a bit of sameness going into each match, like you're either gonna be capturing a point or escorting the payload. Now, admittedly, I do really like payload as a game mode, really fun to me, but I can understand that just these two could leave people stale. I don't know what else you would work into like another game mode, because I've not played very much Overwatch. I played some of Overwatch 2 when it was, it became free. I played like maybe 5 hours, if that. I don't really remember any of the game modes in Overwatch, but if there's any like good ones in there, I would try to see if it fits into Rivals as well. If it does, great. I would add it into the quick play comp match pool. But as is, like I haven't gotten personally bored of the game modes yet. But like for these people who have like 100, 200 hours in the game, I fail to see how they aren't a little bit tired of it. So hopefully we get a different game mode in the future in the quick play comp scene. But as is, I think what they have is pretty solid. They both work fine. There's no like map where you're like overwhelmed. I mean, there are maps where one side has the advantage. At least I feel that way, but I haven't played enough to like give you like a spreadsheet with the stats. I think overall, the game modes are balanced for the maps are balanced for the game modes, yada yada yada. And I think the big thing that I want to talk about is the characters, because that's what everyone wants. That's what this game is built on, let's be honest. This game could have the best game mode, the most inventive game mode in the world. It could have load times of under a second, match finding under a second. It does have match finding under a second in like on day one. I don't know about now, but there is one thing that makes this game truly pop off, as the kids would say. I think the one thing that lets this game cook is the characters, and they're really good. All of them are, I personally believe, superbly done. Now, I brought up characters a little bit earlier, but I really think that this game does a perfect job of making sure that if there is a character you like, they are viable. And I think there's no one in my mind that pops up as like a definitive worst character, unplayable, just unviable. There's no one like that. The only character there's one character that pops into my head as like a little weaker than the rest, and it's Black Widow. And I haven't played her in like matches, but with one of my friends, as I mentioned earlier, that I played with, they played her for a little bit, like maybe a match. They said they felt she was a little weak, but I mean, when you got her little team up with Hawkeye, she basically gets his ult for like 5 seconds. Yeah, I could see how that could make her, that could compensate for some of her weakness. And I think she's probably fine. But I mean, you do have like someone like Hawkeye, who is solid. He's really good. Who's also kind of a sniper, though obviously they have different utility. They do fill a similar role of headshotting and annoying you. So I mean, she might just feel like a underperformer, or which is like slightly like less optimal than Hawkeye, but that's the thing I'm trying to get across to you. Yes, you, Overwatch Glazer, who probably didn't make it this far into the video, let's be honest. Every character in this game is viable, and if there's someone you want to play, you can. If I really wanted to play Groot, I'm sure I could. I've not touched him. He just does not look fun to me. And that's okay, because even if he's not fun looking to me, if I really, really, really liked Groot, which there's someone out there, I'm sure, he is completely viable to use. I see him on teams all the time, even on my own, and he's always a solid character. Every character is solid, as long as you as a player are also competent. And as long as you pick a character you understand and know, Uh, Case in point, I like Loki. He's quite a difficult character to use. You have to learn to really use your doubles, or I guess triples, because you can make 3. Well, no, the third's you. Anyway, he's kind of difficult to learn because his ultimate changes you into another character. Now, it's a bit of an issue when it's your first match and you have only played Loki and you start copying someone like, I think, who was the first person I copied? I think I copied a Captain America, or maybe a Punisher. No, Punisher is easy. It was someone, I don't remember. It might have been Storm. I've never played her actually, or like played her for more than like 10 seconds because I got killed really fast. But like, it's like if you don't know your character and you try to use them, obviously you're gonna die. But if you're not stupid like that, every character can be viable. You can hop into the practice range and screw around with them for like 10 minutes if you just get a basic understanding of the utility, how they fight, what their purpose and goal is as a character. You will be fine with them. Side note, this just popped up in my head. I feel like Wolverine is really bad. Anytime I see one on my team, they have like negative kills, and anytime I'm watching them while I'm dead, because I die a lot, I'm bad. I'm not good in this game, trust me. Like, I feel like they barely do any damage, but I don't know the character enough, and I think he's like a 3 or 4 star difficulty, so maybe his tech just isn't understood, which is very possible because some of these characters are pretty complicated. I think, I guess new tangent. I think that all the characters offer some uniqueness compared to Overwatch. I made the point earlier that this game is unique enough, and I think the character ideas and how they're executed are all fairly unique, or at least different enough to feel fun, which is the most important part, but also very, maybe not very clearly, but like obviously they're different. They're different. The games are different. You can tell, just in many ways. Obviously there are similarities, but these two are very separate entities. I'm sorry, I don't really know where to go with the rest of this video. It's just kind of me ranting about why I like the game. Why it's not just an Overwatch clone. I just really wanted to talk about this game because 1, I want to ride the wave, and 2, I really like this game. It is fun, and I feel like I haven't had a game like that in a long time. Like, there's this year for games just has not been the best in my opinion. I can't name you very many games from this year. Concord. Oh, sorry, I forgot about my favorite game. But I feel like this game just is fun. I feel like this is a game I will just text the group chat and be like, hey guys, do you want to play some Rivals? And we'll get on, and like for maybe like an hour or 2, we'll just have a blast while one of us dies repeatedly, and that's okay because this game is fun. And I just wanted to talk about the fact that it is fun. It is a good game, even though the world is praising it right now. I hope I added something to I hope like as a person I added something unique to this video. I don't think I did, even though I kind of promised that in the beginning of the video, but I don't know. I feel like there's not much to talk about because the game is solid. I talked about the Overwatch complainers and some of like the role queuing issues, but I feel like past that, like the people who aren't gonna listen to that just aren't gonna listen. They won't care. And the people who do like this game, I mean, they already know all the characters are great and fun. Sure, I commented on the maps and like what an actual like role queue would do to the game, like it'd make it better for comp, but kind of less fun and less interesting. But I don't really have much to add because the game's it's like an infant right now. A really, just like a really solid infant. Let me get that straight. But I don't know. Maybe I might just be wasting your time with this, and if I am, I'm sorry. I just talk about stuff on this channel, and I always rant at the end of the videos, so my bad. But yeah, I will leave you on some hopes, and then my next video I'm going to be talking about, well, not my next video, but my next Rivals video, I'll be talking about characters I want, because there's already been a couple leaked. I'm not going to say them here because I don't want to spoil anyone, even though, like, it's not really a spoiler. It's just, I just don't want to, like, oh, hey, I don't want to be like, oh, this is in the game, and you feel like, well, wow, I didn't click on this video for that. I feel like I got spoiled. So I'm not going to say them here, but I will end on the fact that I want this game to keep listening to the community, as long as the community is making choices that make sense and help the general fan base, not just the competitive scene. And I want the developers, the game, to stay very dedicated and be as genuine as possible with their love of these characters, because there is a lot of love for these characters. Very clearly, there is love and passion put into this game, and I want them to continue that. Yeah, in the store right now, you're just gonna find a bunch of Marvel MCU slop skins, and okay, admittedly, some of them are pretty cool, but I just want to see the developers continue faithfully adapting these characters, because that will keep the game alive. Yeah, probably, unless they make some other really bad decision. If it's true that the Battle Pass persists through seasons, this game is that's definitely going to change in the future. I'm almost certain of it. But if that kind of integrity, if that kind of willingness to give the players what they pay for, that kind of like proves to me personally that this isn't just a cash grab. Like everything else in the game, that was not a sentence. Everything else in the game should prove to you that this isn't just a cash grab. But the fact that if this is true, I've heard it. I haven't read it like officially anywhere. But if it is true that if you buy the Battle Pass and it persists through seasons, like you can still complete it and everything. I mean, that's just in the most basic form of like proving that this isn't a cash grab. I mean, they're giving you literally buy the rewards. You just gotta have to work for them a little bit, and then you get like more like premium currencies, all that yada yada. That I hope they continue being as genuine as they are now. That's all I have to add. Again, I'm sorry if I'm wasting your time with this video. I'm sorry I don't have anything like unique to add. If this video does super well, or well, if it gets seen by a bunch of people, and in the comments they're all like, "Wow, Yappuccino," I will agree. I'm gonna put a little warning in the beginning. That's probably like, "Hey, this might not be that productive of a video," but I just wanted to talk about it. I will add that, but I hope you just enjoyed hearing me rant. Hopefully you just had this on your side monitor while you were playing some Terraria or some Rivals even. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the game. I hope this game continues to go well, because I'm a fan. Call me a glazer. Anyway, that's all I have for you this week. See you.